This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course, as we continue to interview all of the Kulwicki Driver Development finalists. And now we have our third person to come on the channel. It's Riley Stenjem from Madison, from down by in Wisconsin. How's it going?
It's going good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. So what's it like to be a part of this program?
Yeah, it's a huge honor. I believe I've been a semifinalist now for the last 3 years, and I think I applied the last 4 or 5 years. So to finally be a finalist and kind of get my career in a spot where I feel like I can compete for a chance at the Kulwicki Cup is just huge. Myself, I'm in engineering school right now, and Alan himself being an engineer, it's just kind of cool to follow in his footsteps a little bit, kind of live the way he did and go about things the way he did. I think it really helped him in his career, and I'm looking to do the same.
Okay, so we've done this with the others that have been on here, but kind of introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into racing.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm Riley Stenjem. I'm from Utica, Wisconsin, which is just outside of Madison, and I'm 22 years old. I'm a senior in mechanical engineering school at Milwaukee School of Engineering. So I started racing. I was into racing like my whole life growing up. I'd go and watch races at Madison or the dirt track at Angel Park Speedway in Sun Prairie with my parents and my grandpa. And I kind of just kept begging, and finally they got me a go-kart when I was about 12 years old. We did go-karts on road courses for 3 years, and then we did go-karts on ovals for a year. Then after that, moved into legend cars, did that for 3 years, won a couple state championships doing that. And then after that, we moved into late models for 2 years at Jefferson Speedway. Won Rookie of the Year my first year. And then second year, I was second in points there at Jefferson for the weekly late models. And then these last couple of years, we've been doing super lates and late models. And then this past season, I was the Tundra Super Late Model Series champion in Wisconsin.
So kind of going into that, who were some of your racing heroes growing up? Of course, being from the state of Wisconsin, so you have pretty good odds of winning. Apparently, people from Wisconsin end up winning this thing. I know you had that. I mean, that works well for you and Jacob, but of course, Luke Fenhouse won it last year. And what's it like to be from the same state as Alan?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like you said, some of my racing heroes growing up, I went to the same high school that Matt Kenseth went to, so he's obviously one of my racing heroes. Like, to see someone from your hometown make it all the way up and be a NASCAR champion is pretty cool. And then growing up, some more local guys. My uncle always sponsored Bobby Wilberg, who is like a 20-time track champion around Madison, Rockford area. So I grew up watching him. My dad was friends with Dale Nottestad's dad, so I grew up watching him a little bit. And then up the road from me, Casey Johnson's from up the road. He's a pretty prominent super late model driver across the country. And then more recently, I became friends with Ty Majeski, kind of been trying to follow in his footsteps a little bit. We got hooked up with the same crew guys that he's hooked up with. So yeah, there's a lot of racing heritage in Wisconsin. And then obviously, like you said, Alan as well. So there's a lot of guys to look up to and try to emulate the good things that all of them do and hopefully mold myself into be a good driver like they were.
Of course, you mentioned Ty Majeski, full-time in the truck series. A lot of drivers coming from there, from the Wisconsin area. Of course, you got Matt Kenseth. You got Derek Kraus, another one, and as well as Sam Mayer. So kind of going into that, what are your plans like for the rest of the year? Kind of talk about where are we going to see you for the rest of the year?
Yeah, so for 2022, we have a pretty ambitious schedule set up. We're planning on running the full Tundra Super Late Model Series again, try to repeat as champion in that. We're planning on running the full Alive for 5 Super Late Model Series at Dells Raceway Park. That's a 5-race Super Late Model deal that starts here in a couple weeks. And then we're going to plan on doing tentatively right now, about half the ARC Midwest Tour schedule. And then we've got a late model as well, and we're going to fill in the rest of the races with that. So we're going to end up around 25 to 30 races this year across the state.
What's the goal for you? Is the goal NASCAR?
Obviously, like every kid, the goal is NASCAR, but I don't come from a lot of family money, and that's really, unless you know somebody or have a good connection, it's hard to get there. My goal right now is just to keep racing on the super late model scale, get to be hopefully like a guy like a Casey Johnson or a Ty Majeski or a Bubba Pollard or Stephen Nasse that can go and compete from the top 5 and win anywhere they go in the country. And I'd like to do that, go race some of the bigger super late model races across the country, Snowball Derby, All-American 400, Speed Weeks, things like that. hit some of those bucket list races. And if it goes any farther from there, that'd be great. But if I'm just able to race super lates for the rest of my life, I'd be happy doing that as well.
You ready for Slinger, bud?
Yeah, so tentatively, we're about 50-50 on if we're going to go to the Midwest Tour opener at Slinger. That's April 24th. But as of now, we will probably be at the Kulwicki Memorial on April 7th or August 7th at Slinger. So that's our plans for Slinger this year.
Slinger Nationals. I love, watching the SRX race, knowing that, and it was so cool watching that place. It was like, Wisconsin's a fun state race. I've always wanted to go to one of them. Okay, let's get to know you outside of racing. What do you like to do?
Yeah, so like I said, right now I'm in engineering school. So during the school year, it's pretty tough for me to do a lot outside of school. I hang out with friends a little bit. I like to snowmobile when I can, do things outdoors with my friends, spend time with my girlfriend, my family, really anything like that. And then during the summer, I like to fish a little bit when I get time with some of my buddies. And just, I don't know, like I'm in the shop a lot. We're in the shop probably 6-7 days a week. And then when I'm not in the shop, I like to just kind of relax and hang out with friends pretty much.
When is your next race?
My next race is tentatively, or it is April 10th at Icebreaker 100 at Dells Raceway Park. It's usually about a 50-50 shot if we get snow for that up here. So hopefully it doesn't get snowed out this year.
Oh my, snow in April in Wisconsin. I mean, I live in the state right next to you, so we're used to the snow in Michigan. So
Yeah.
All right, good stuff there. All right, Riley Stenjem, thank you so much for coming on, and congratulations on being part of the Kulwicki Driver Development Program. Of course, we're going to try to catch up with all the finalists in the next few weeks.